HP's been stepping up its game as of late when it recently updated its Spectre line, the HP Spectre x360, both the 13 and 15-inch versions, outfitting them with 8th generation Intel quad-core processors. I got my hands on the 15-inch version, and here's my take on it. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is my review of the HP Spectre x360 15t late 2017. Okay, so here's what's new. They outfitted this with an 8th generation Intel Core i7-8550U CPU. They promise about a 40% boost in performance over last year's model. They upgraded the pen to support 4096 levels of pressure sensitivity to be on par with that of the new Surface Pen. And of course, they bumped up the GPU to the NVIDIA GeForce MX150 with 2GB of video RAM. Now, this is not a gaming machine. That's why you don't see the 1050 or the 1060 on this, but it can do some gaming. Now, this comes in at $13.99 US, and to be honest, that is a real bargain, especially for what you're getting. Now, the model I have has 8GB of RAM and 256GB of PCIe NVMe SSD storage. Now, packaging is very premium, and I would expect nothing less with this high-end premium device. And of course, it has that typical HP Spectre box, and I really do like it. Opening the box, you're greeted by the unit itself, and just like the last model, this one has that very premium feel and look. It has a 90-watt adapter, and that means you'll get some pretty fast charging on this device. And it's USB Type-C. Now, I ordered mine from HP, and the SKU I got did come with the pen. From what I'm hearing, the Best Buy SKU will not have the pen. And another added bonus is they threw in a sleeve. Pretty nice. And just like last year's model, you get that gorgeous 15.6-inch IPS touch display. It's a glossy display, and it retains those very thin bezels, the trend I like to see going into 2018. And of course, it has a resolution of 3840 by 2160. That's 282 pixels per inch, and it has a 16:9 aspect ratio. The blacks are very deep, and the colors are very vibrant and pop off the display. The colors are also very accurate at 95% sRGB and 74% Adobe RGB. And it's also good for both indoor and outdoor use at 315 nits, although in direct sunlight it may be an issue. And of course, since this is a convertible, you can put it into the tent mode, which is great for watching movies, Netflix, recipes when you're in the kitchen, and the like. And of course, you can put it into the stand mode, great for consuming media, Netflix, YouTube, and you get the picture. And of course, you can pop it down into tablet mode, great for using it with the pen. So a lot of versatility here. And speaking of the pen, it uses the N-Trig pen technology, and it now has 4096 levels of pressure sensitivity, putting it on par with that of the new Surface Pen. But in my opinion, not quite as good, but just a shade below that. I thought the pen worked well. I thought the pressure sensitivity was spot on. Palm rejection worked well. I think this is a really good value add-on, especially if you buy it directly from HP, as certain SKUs, especially the one in Best Buy, will not have the pen in this version. So make sure you get the right SKU that has the pen. Now, something to keep in mind, the 13-inch model, the new one, will support the tilt function. This doesn't support the tilt function, which is kind of odd, but I kind of wish it did have it, but not a deal breaker nonetheless. Now, as far as ports are concerned, once again, you won't be disappointed. There's a nice array of ports. On the right side of the device, you have two USB Type-C ports. The first one is Thunderbolt 3, and I'm glad to report that it is 4 lanes, meaning you can connect this to an external GPU. But please keep in mind, you're going to get a bottleneck from the CPU, and I think that's my holdup with that, but just something to keep in mind. You also get a full-size SD card slot, and it sits flush with the device, and you get a 3.5mm headset jack along with one USB 3.0, and it's Type A. At about 2 kilograms or 4.47 pounds, you're looking at a pretty light device considering this is a 15.6-inch laptop. The bottom plate is removable, and you are able to upgrade the SSD if you so wish, but I think they use a pretty good SSD, but again, that option's there. And the RAM, I believe, is soldered on. I don't think you can upgrade that, but there are 2 slots there, so you can get up to 32 gigabytes potentially. One thing you'll also notice is that it has 2 fans to keep this unit cool. And it has dual band wireless AC. There's the modem right there. Now, as far as the keyboard is concerned, it's pretty much unchanged from the last model, and that's a good thing as it had pretty good key travel at 1.4 millimeters and very comfortable to type on for extended periods of time. And I like the fact that it has multi-level backlighting. Now, it does have an oversized trackpad. I'm not sure why they went so large with it, but nonetheless, it didn't really affect anything. It didn't bother me in any way. And it does use the Synaptics drivers over, say, something like the Precision drivers, which I think I prefer. But nonetheless, two-finger scrolling worked well. Windows 10 gestures worked as advertised. Overall, I'd say it was pretty good. There are two top-facing speakers. They're Bang & Olufsen branded, and they're located on both sides of the keyboard. And they're actually pretty good. Not quite as good as the 15-inch MacBook Pro, which is one of my favorite sounding speakers in the 15-inch category, but these aren't bad. Now, let's hear them in action.
The original Chromebook Pixel back in 2013, there was no doubt it had some of the most premium hardware on the market, rivaling that of the MacBook Pro.
So this is the webcam on the HP Spectre x360 15t 2017, and it's a 1080p webcam that's 1920 by 1080, 30 frames per second, and it's okay. It did okay in low light situations, not the greatest I've ever seen. I've seen worse, and I've certainly seen better. I would say it's about middle of the road. Certainly better than what you get on the Asus webcams that we've been seeing as of late, which are only VGA. And don't get me started on the 12-inch MacBooks, this disgraceful webcam on that one, also VGA, and really just a shame that Apple really trolls their customers. But anyway, that's for another day. This has been the front-facing webcam on the HP Spectre x360 15t. And that camera supports Windows Hello Login, great for logging in into Windows 10. It has a 79 watt-hour battery. Now last year I was able to get about 7.5 to 8 hours under what I call normal use. This year I got about 8 to 9 hours, a little bit better with the Kaby Lake U processor. Now that's with 40% screen brightness, doing YouTube, Netflix, light gaming, some light Photoshop, and some web browsing under the Edge browser. Of course, your mileage may vary depending on your use case scenario. If you're going to do high-end video editing, if you're going to do gaming, certainly will hit the battery. It is a Samsung PCIe NVMe SSD, 256 gigabytes in capacity, of which 192 gigabytes are available to the user. And it did pretty well on the Crystal Disk Mark test. Look at those reads and writes. And you're seeing about a 40% boost in performance over last generation processor, or last year's processor, the Kaby Lake. And you're really seeing the difference in terms of the MX150 over the 940 from last year. Definitely a boost in graphics performance as well. That means you can do some gaming on this. Now here I am playing GTA 5. Now having said this, this is not a gaming machine per se, so you're going to have to lower the settings if you want to make it really playable. But judging from the 3D Mark scores as you see here, it is definitely doable. As far as temperatures are concerned, it will start to get hot. But it does have those two fans, and there is a decent cooling system on this, so I wasn't overly concerned. But of course, battery life will take a hit. It has 802.11 AC dual band wireless. It worked well. Reception and range was very good, and I had no issues with the Bluetooth 4.2 pairing with no problem with some of my peripherals. Actually, it's pretty good. But not everything is perfect with this device. There are some issues that I thought I would bring to your attention. The first one being that there is some issue with the coiled whine. Now this was an issue with the Dell XPS 13 and with the Razer Blade Stealth that I had last year. That was an issue and forced me to have to send it back to get a replacement unit. Now this one does have some coiled whine. I'm probably going to send it back in order to get that remedied. I'm not sure if this is a widespread problem, but it definitely is noticeable on this device. Certainly not terrible, and it's not that distracting, but it is there and you will notice it. And the other issue, if that's what you want to call it, is I wish it did have over 10 hours of battery life, but that's just me being a little bit greedy. It did get 8 to 9 hours, which is certainly about an hour more than last year's model, and that's okay. I'm pretty happy with that, but would have preferred a little bit longer battery. So to bring it all home, can I recommend the HP Spectre x360 15t late 2017? Absolutely, without hesitation. This is probably one of the best 15-inch convertibles on the market right now, late 2017. There are very few flaws on this device as it checks all the boxes that you'd want in that 15-inch device. Excellent display, decent battery life, decent sounding audio, excellent pen support, and just overall excellent build qualities and really stunning looks. Bringing it all home, making this the AMDtech editor's choice for the 15-inch convertible device once again. Earning a score of 92%, making this worth your money. So what do you think about the HP Spectre x360 15t late 2017 edition? I love it. I think this is the best convertible, 15-inch convertible out there right now. But I'm curious to know what you think. Leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know what you think of it. I love its gorgeous 4K display. Didn't need much improvement in that department. It was great last version. It's great this version. But I do like the fact that the pen now supports 4,096 levels of pressure sensitivity. Don't forget to buy the one from HP. That one will come with the pen. The one you get from Best Buy, I think, doesn't come with it from what I'm hearing. So make sure you check the SKU to make sure the pen is included in that price point. Speaking of the price, I think it's a fair price at $13.99. You're getting pretty high-end specs, gorgeous looks, premium build. Really is very good. Convertible ability to flip this into the tent mode, the stand mode, the tablet mode. Certainly everything works great at 4.4 pounds. It's not too heavy. It's certainly not too light. Obviously, it may just be the right size for a 15-inch device. But I'm curious to know what you think. Leave a comment in that comment section below. The 8 to 9 hours battery life is okay. It's about an hour more in my estimation or in my usage than last year's model. But I was hoping to get over 10 hours with the KB Lake U processor or the 8th generation processor. But one thing you will get is a 40% boost in performance, as evidenced by the Geekbench 4 results. When you compare it to last year's results, definitely you can see the improvement. You can definitely see the improvement over the 940 MX used last year as far as the GPU. The MX150, definitely an improvement there. But I'm curious to know what you think. Leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know what you think of the HP Spectre x360 15t. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and of course our website, AMDtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMDtech. See ya.